Hey everybody, welcome back to Tommy's Tesla Tech and Travel. Still got the people here from California. Say hi, people.
Hi, people.
And now we're heading to Tombstone, Arizona, the town too tough to die. As you remember in our last video, it was founded by Ed Schefflin in the late 1800s because it became a silver mining town. But it's mostly known for the famous gunfight at the OK Corral, where Wyatt Earp, Morgan Earp, and the other Earp, which I totally forgot, Morgan Earp, they actually went to battle with the Cowboys. Not just a cool name, the gang was actually called the Cowboys. And we're actually gonna probably stop by Boot Hill Cemetery too, which we didn't stop at last time. So let's go on the road and let's go to even southern Arizona. More southern Arizona.
I'm a Huckleberry.
He's a Huckleberry. Wait, does that mean you have tuberculosis? Okay. All right, let's roll. Stop number one is Boot Hill Graveyard. This is where everybody that participated in the OK Corral gunfight is actually buried, along with some other people here from the Old West. And it always blows your mind. It's been around since 1878, which I know in the grand scheme of the history of the world, not that long, but in the term of the United States, this goes back over 100 years. All right, let's go check it out. One of the many places here on the historical registry, well, the National Registry for Historic Places, I should say. Tombstone, Arizona dates to 1877. Prospector Ed Schefflin discovered silver and named his first mine Tombstone. By 1879, a town had sprung up in a relatively flat area nearby. Gunslingers, gamblers, prospectors, Chinese laborers, and fancy ladies flocked to the town. And today, so do we.
You guys need
Are you ready?
town maps.
That's exciting. I want to see. I mean, it's more than just the regular inhabitants that were buried here from Tombstone, but a lot of like unknown folks and a lot of like the original Chinese laborers too. So keep in mind, some of the headstones we're going to show you, sometimes they're not the most politically correct tombstones, but we're going to take a look at and show you all the ones that we can find, especially some of the whimsical ones.
Yeah.
Like Lester Moore was always my favorite. Max, it's up to you to find Lester Moore's gravestone. Let's roll. So John Gillespie has a lot of money left on his thing, and I'm not 100% sure why. He's making more money dead than I am alive, so good for him. And the cool thing is, seeing that we're locals here, like we don't ever come out here unless people are visiting. So it's really cool to see this through everybody else's eyes because they're seeing it for the first time, and just seeing that awestruck that you get the first time you see something new like this that we become accustomed to. So it's really nice. We get to relive it kind of for the first time again. So I actually never realized it before. There is a Jewish cemetery and memorial here at Boot Hill. And the rocks are actually part of traditional Jewish culture to mark someone's grave out of respect. You actually see this a lot too. When we used to go to the Holocaust Museum in DC, you would see rocks there left as well to commemorate the lost. I just like they didn't mince words back then. It's like, here's your epitaph.
Have a nice day.
You were lynched.
Yep.
R.I.P. Here lies Lester Moore. 4 slugs from a 44, no less, no more. This is the one that was slightly inappropriate that I was remembering. Not exactly politically correct. Here we go. Some of the folks that died in the famous OK Corral gunfight. You had Billy Clanton, Frank McClary, and Tom McClary. Billy Clanton, Tom McClary, Frank McClary murdered in the streets of Tombstone in 1881 on that fateful day in October 26th. It's kind of weird to see it come to like life and actually like something you've only seen in the movies or heard talk about, and here's the reality behind it.
Really cool.
So next stop, now that we've seen the bodies, let's go see where it happened. All right, in traditional theme park or attraction fashion, let us exit through the gift shop. Can't go nowhere without the Arizona themed candy. Let's go see the town too tough to die. Welcome to Tombstone. And here is famous Allen Street, where everything went down and it still looks like we're in 1885. And by 1885, I meant 1881. That's when everything went down here.
The world famous Birdcage Theater. Birdcage was built here in 1881, survived the fires of 1881 and 1882, and then survived being locked up with everything inside for 45 years from 1889 when the mine shut down until 1934.
One thing I heard someone say once that always blew my mind, they're like, oh my gosh, Tombstone's so much like Knott's Berry Farm. It's actually the other way around. Knott's Berry Farm's Old West is like Tombstone. This one inspired most of it with Walter Knott's. It's time for history to come to life, y'all. Even though I've been here many times, having grown up down the street, this never ceases to being really awesome. I think this is why I like Disneyland so much. When you go to Frontierland, it just reminds me of all the stuff I grew up seeing here in Tombstone. All the old movie posters, the Historama, which is cool. Basically a live action puppet show that's kind of like animation, but in the 1800s and live. So I guess nothing like animation now that I'm thinking about it. That was dumb. Time to go see where Morgan Earp was killed. Well, here's a spot where Morgan Earp was actually shot and killed. And what better way to commemorate that with clearance t-shirts and storing some boxes. But it's still really dope. We're standing like literally in a place of history. This is where one of the Earp brothers died after being shot by the Cowboys through the front window.
$10, that's cheap. $9.
There you go. And they're actually not terrible t-shirts either. Let them know where you've been, buy a t-shirt. And when in Tombstone, you have to eat at the Crystal Palace. Let's roll, y'all. No weapons, guys. Put your guns away. Yeah, the original Crystal Palace bar and stage. These are all original to the building, which is gnarly, including some of the vintage gambling devices. Bars? Yeah. Could you imagine like being here in the 1880s, just saddling up to that and just having a drink? Yeah. Nice, warm whiskey. Not me, I'd be running by then. I would not survive the Old West. I'm like, can't we talk this out? They're like, no. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'll die then. So almost always when we come to Tombstone, we eat at the Crystal Palace because it's just awesome, it's vintage, everything's almost original, and the food's been always good. I am a big fan of the Duke Burger. A little bit of juicy roast beef on top of a regular burger, can't go wrong. Well, you have a long drive home with not a lot of restaurant stops, so yeah, I guess you can go wrong. But it's definitely worth a try. Lots of great places to eat around here, but the Crystal Palace is definitely what I recommend the most. What about you, Max? What do you recommend the most?
I was thinking about getting a baked salmon.
Pink salmon? Because nothing says the Old West like fish. Our food has arrived. We got everything from salad to burger chicken of sorts. And I got the Duke. Like I said before, I really enjoyed this last time I got it. Roast beef, barbecue, cheese, and bacon, and a really delicious burger. Then we got the Old West fish with Max here. And Bob got fish too. A little fishy if you ask me. I regret that joke immediately, I apologize. Let's eat. All right, like normal, the food was wonderful here, but I always want to show you guys a closer look at this stage. How awesome is this? It's the original stage from when the restaurant, well, slash bar and saloon was founded back when. And this was actually established in 1879. I mean, just look at that. Got carpet on now, but that is dope. And the original bar back as well.
Anniversary year. Let's hear it. That being said, I have one 75th anniversary Tombstone Vigilante t-shirt to the person who traveled the farthest to be here today. Really quick, who came from far? Maryland. Anybody from Maryland?
Draw? Ain't no artiste, ain't no paper. No. I got one left. You're done for now.
Hey everybody, Future Tommy here. Turns out the audio didn't work on the next few videos, so you get my narration. Here's the hearse that took all the people to their final resting place there at Boot Hill Cemetery in Tombstone, Arizona. While we're waiting for the gunfight to begin, the boys take a look at some of the stuff around, including the panning for gold area and a couple of little stagecoaches that you can go sit in. This one made me really laugh. Henry had to sit in it, but as soon as he sat down, that hot weather made it too bearable to sit. This was a big deal for my brother-in-law Bob, and I'm so happy we got to bring him down here. This was always on his bucket list to come down and see where the gunfight OK Corral actually happened. One of his favorite movies of all time is Tombstone, starring Val Kilmer and Kurt Russell. Wow, I forgot his name for a second. Which I think is probably the best Tombstone movie that was ever made. There's been a ton of them, but that's my personal favorite. Max, unfortunately, was never impressed with anything we did, but you know what? Secretly, I think he had a great time. And if he didn't, he did a good job hiding it. But Bob told me on the way down there how we always wanted to see this, and we just had to make it happen. And we actually made one of his other bucket list dreams come true the very next day. So tune in later for that video as well. But as for right now, we got to go and get our seats and get ready for a gunfight. We're going to get ready for a gunfight. Hey.
I said, are you ready for a gunfight?
Yeah!
Please, at no point during or after the presentation, try to handle our weapons. They are real, and they are dangerous. Now, with all the safety talk out of the way, who's got a cell phone with them today? Raise your hand. Throw it up in the air for me. Go ahead. Let's give this a try, folks. All together. Good guys. Yeah! Bad guys. Woo! Good guys. Yeah! Are you folks ready for a gunfight? Yeah! Are you ready for a killing?
Yeah!
You people are sick.
That was one heck of a show, wasn't it, Mark? I'll tell you what, that was the best show to come through in one. Cowboys getting started early.
Early Bill. Boys are in violation of City Ordinance number 9. I need your guns.
Alright, but
I need you to hold on a second. Hey, Bill. Bill, explain to me what he means. We've been violating the city's ornaments.
Chair as well. Roll my guns so then. Pictures up. I'll give you my gun.
Oh! That's what he meant.
How's he looking, Mark? He's not looking good, Wyatt.
Yeah, Bill, if that man dies, you swing for him.
A funeral is cheaper than a trial, boys. I suggest you clear out.
Good luck, Bill.
Come on, let's back here.
At least you tried, Wyatt. That's more than I can say for us.
Verge, what are you doing? We didn't come here to get involved.
If this town's gonna make it, it's got to have some law and order.
Geez, Verge, don't do this. Verge, listen to reason.
Doc, if you're coming with us, you'll have to listen to me. Hang back. Hold on to this. Come along.
Against.
Oh, that's not what I want! Wait, Wyatt! I don't have a gun! I get the fuck get away! Wait!
All right, Lover. You want to play for blood?
I'm your Huckleberry. Over before it ever started. And that, folks, is our show. We hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.
All right, everybody, say horse nuggets. Fights here at OK Corral. This one's my favorite at the original side. Make sure you pay the 10, 15 bucks person to get in. Not only do you get your free newspaper at the Tombstone Appetite, you can actually go see the Historama, as well as see a really good show. I mean, this is on your bucket list. I love the show. I think it's one of the best ones out there, and they're funny, and it's pretty consistent. All right.
You always have to have a little bit of cheese when you come here. I love it.
With a side of those horse nuggets. All right, guys. Well, thanks for taking another ride with us. We're going to call it a day, spend some family time, and head back to Tucson. If you find yourself in Arizona, do not hesitate to come to Tombstone. And if you do, well, you probably didn't want to come to begin with. Bye-bye, everybody.